Hello everybody, this is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI.
And I'm just waiting for the moment you run into Death Gaze here, but we'll see what happens. Because he never shows up when you're looking for him, and will always show up when you want to avoid him. Now this is Triangle Island from the World of Balance. You will find only one type of enemy in the plains here, I think, overall. Okay, yeah, the only enemy you'll run into on this whole island is this Zone Eater. You may notice...
Yeah.
Engulf.
Yeah, and you actually do not want to attack.
Yep, because if you attack, the battle just ends normally, and you get your eaten party members back. But you might want to question something, or if you have a vor fetish, to ask, I wonder what happened if everyone gets eaten here. So I can tell you right now, it's not a game over.
Yeah, it's just like in Donkey Kong 64, where Diddy actually wants to go into that robotic fish.
Yep. Yeah, it will only cast Demi or use the Engulf ability. I don't think it has any other attacks whatsoever. Oh, one more. Ah, it's sucking me in! Of course, that was the best moment candidate from Kirby's Adventure. That's for sure. But yeah, lo and behold, a brand new dungeon. Step into the light to leave.
Yeah, yeah, that was my mistake.
Now we gotta get sucked in all over again here.
Yep. Well, at least I learned something from that.
Yeah, and this is one of those dungeons where if you have a warp stone, it's the fastest way to leave once you're done in there.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that. I'm pretty sure I don't.
It's a warp stone, and if someone knows the spell warp, they'll be able to get out.
Yeah, wouldn't that be Mog that would learn the warp?
Anyone who is given that Esper, I'm trying to remember which one teaches. I think Fenrir does. Stop warp in X zone. I'd have to double check. And X zone is a very handy spell for a particularly annoying boss later on too. Of course, by now, since you have both Phantom and Shote, you can do the Vanish Death trick on any enemy to kill them pretty much instantly. And it never misses if they're invisible. Okay, one more for Mog. Now, this upcoming dungeon has the closest thing this game has to a stealth mission. It's a bit of a nuisance, but if you have sprint shoes, it's much easier. Of course, you should have sprint shoes at this point. Anyone who goes through the game without sprint shoes, I admire their patience.
Yeah, I did that in the first time I played.
And you may notice that monster took care of my single problem for me, eating all of them alive. Now I don't have to worry about things that they'll never get out of there again anyway. Wait, they just step into the light to get out? Oh.
Or so we have you believe, Kefka.
No, I should have done that on the first time just to follow up on that when you left right away. But yeah, if these guys. If they run into you, they'll knock you off, but you actually want them to do so once, because that's the only way to get these treasure chests. The Genji armor is one of the best suits of armor in the game. They can equip by Terra, Celeste, Kai, Setzer, and Edgar, I believe.
Okay.
But it's better than the crystal equipment. Yeah, attack Sabin, who will counterattack while he's berserked. Figaro T, who's blending that stuff? Edgar, you might want to take a look at what your cook's doing. Is turning people into imps. Yeah, on the official, on the map that came with the game, either the game itself or the official guide, this area was ranked dungeon number 19 of like 30, so it's not hard to get to.
Wow, that's even more dungeons than the NES Legend of Zelda.
Of course, these are shorter, less puzzles, a lot more enemies.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I just finished dinner, so I'm burping.
Although there's lots of debate if Zelda is considered an RPG or not.
It's an action-adventure RPG. It's a mix of all three. Because even though you don't gain levels, you do have to... You get the rewards by beating the bosses and such. Now, crossing here is the hardest part, because of course you have to wait for him to turn his back on you. And they really don't follow you, they'll just kind of wander back and forth, so it's best to wait on the edge.
Yeah, because basically you just gotta lure them over to a corner.
No, they won't follow you. They'll go back into the corner anyway if you're just standing, even if you're just standing still.
Oh, I thought their direction depends on yours.
Not that I've ever noticed. Some more enemies.
It's one of those creatures that you gotta fake out.
I've never really had to worry about that. Okay, yeah, these guys, they will disappear and become immune to physical attacks. You must hit them with magic. Otherwise, you just completely miss. Every time. And they like to spam those items on you that hit everybody. Just like those ninjas back on the floating continent.
Yep.
Yeah, hit them once with magic, they'll reappear. Waist Shake, that's a new one. That makes sense that they confuses them. He's not dead?! Saban just broke the damage record! Oh, okay, never mind. Use it on Celeste. But yeah, we have a new damage record. Who will be the first one to break the damage cap? Or reach the damage cap? Well, we'll find out eventually, because if you're able to reach the end of the game, there will come a point when someone will hit the damage cap. Yep, and even if you cast magic on a person outside of battle, that'll undo their invisibility. But interesting thing is, if you go to an inn or use a tent, they won't lose their invisibility.
Ah.
So one of the best things that my brother and I did for grinding on this is, if you have someone vanish, give them the experience egg and the offering, make them invisible, and have them fight enemies just on the stone areas outside the crazy old guy's house near the Veld. And all the enemies there do nothing but physical attacks, so that one character can fight until the enemies finally die, get a boatload of experience, and get to level 99 in a couple of hours.
Ah.
But of course that's grinding only one character at a time. Nope. You're gonna miss him, Mog. In fact, he's taunting you by hitting you first. Yeah, this dungeon is one of really the only places where you can get an instant game over. It's not that hard. Yeah, Celeste is using up a lot of her MP, but that's okay, there's a save point in here. Okay, and go. And repeat. Oh, Celeste!
Dang it.
Fortunately, it's not that long to get back through here. Unfortunately, you're almost guaranteed a battle every time. But this will be easy. And I mentioned back in Mount Zozo that there's an upcoming dungeon where you can just hop over single panel spaces, and you couldn't hop over the space in there. Well, this is it, because there's actually a few jumping puzzles in here. Yahoo watashi wa kattaze. Lyrics to the victory theme.
Now you're making up lyrics for that too. Huh?
Oh, I didn't make them up. It actually comes from a Flash animation that's it's called Final Fantasy A+. Someone made it for his Japanese class final exam. His teacher makes a cameo, and it's basically Final Fantasy school life.
Ah.
I'll link it when we're done here. And I highly recommend you put it in the channel too. It is hilarious. If you understand the mechanics of any Final Fantasy, it'll make sense. Most especially Final Fantasy V, since it uses the music from it. But most of all, you just need to know the basics of Final Fantasy in general.
Okay.
Poor Celeste. She's a confused imp. Oh, he's not dead. Now, it's at this point in the game, if a character is near death, and like Terra there, if she's on her knees or whatever, the character has a random chance of unleashing their limit break. This is the first game in the series where that can be done. But unfortunately, it's fairly rare and can't be abused nearly as much as it can be in Final Fantasy VIII. And various characters, of course, have different limit breaks, some better than others. Yeah, Mog has a relic that will cast Safe and Shell when he's at low health. Yep,
wait, we don't have Locke yet.
No, I said Mog has a relic on him that will cast Safe and Shell on him.
It sounded like you said Locke at first.
No, said Mog.
Yeah.
But he's low health, Safe and Shell to cast on him. And since they're in the back row, they're doing less damage. Take him out eventually. Decent for Magic and Gil in here, too. Yeah, as you recruit new party members, it's best to go... if you know who you're going to get, you can always get equipment for them ahead of time. Once you recruit a new party member, be sure to go around the various towns and get the best equipment you can afford for them. Because at this point in the game, if you don't have the most up-to-date equipment, it's going to get pretty hairy pretty quickly, especially in a few particular dungeons.
Including the last one?
Oh, especially the last one. Okay. Now, that chest down there is the best relic you can get for Realm. It changes her sketch ability into Manipulate or Control. If you're a completionist and are trying to get all of the lowers for Strago and you get him back, that is the easiest way to do it. Realm just takes control of the enemy, says, hey, use this ability. The enemy will use it, Strago learns it, you move on. Much more useful than her sketch ability. Because you basically take control of what action the enemy takes, rather than something random. Tricky thing is, you have to be very quick to get in there and expect to get knocked off the bridge on your way back. Definitely save here. It will become evident in the next room.
Oh, yeah.
And need to get more tents. And plenty of green cherries, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have that many Revivifies.
Yeah, in a couple of dungeons you need that many. Okay. Notice, the ceiling is rising.
This actually reminds me of the Stomping Flame.
Oh, get a spatula. We gotta clean up the party. I've wanted to do that line since starting this LP if you died there. But yep, instant death! Getting crushed by a giant stone slab. Yeah. Get a spatula and a garbage bag. So the Zone Eater didn't finish him off after all. Fortunately, that randomly falling ceiling took care of needs. Wait! They respawn at the same point? I can't get a break here!
Oh, of course you can't, Kefka.
I complained about this before. They always get infinite chances because the game over isn't permanent. Whereas I get defeated once, they suddenly get the victory. I can't come back whatsoever. It just makes me so angry.
That's probably because good always beats evil.
All because it's programmed that way. Yeah, just get into the various safe spots. That treasure chest is not a safe spot. You have to run away. That tack star is the best item that you can throw in the game. So once you get Shadow, save those for when he's involved fighting a big boss.
Okay.
Okay, here's the jumping puzzle I mentioned. Very simple. Just have to hop along here. And getting that chest is quite easy. Just hop down there, flip the switch, and swing back around.
Yeah, I'm surprised there is actually no enemies in this room.
Yep. Of course, the red jacket I forgot to mention is one of Sabin's best pieces of armor. Good to have for him. And those elemental shields are probably the best shields that anyone can equip. You have to swing around and approach the chest from the right in order to get in there, and this should be the final room. Yep. So, hey, random person. Shrouded in odd clothing. Is this a man, a woman, or should we ask? It is Go-Go. First,
not to be confused with that female group from way long ago, the Go-Go's.
Mm-hmm. I'm Sam, master of the simulacrum. There are some who call me Tim. Greetings, Tim the Enchanter. Greetings, King Arthur. Okay, enough Monty Python. Go-Go was first introduced in Final Fantasy V. is the one you fight in order to get the final job class in the game, called the Mime, and in order to defeat him, you do nothing. You just sit there.
I had no idea that by naming that character Sam, you would make a Monty Python reference.
Well, I was thinking Lord of the Rings, but for whatever reason, I just thought of Tim the Enchanter from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But yeah, to defeat Go-Go in Final Fantasy V, he mimics all your actions, so just do nothing and say, yep, you got it. And Go-Go is a unique character because he is the only one you can set specific skills to. He can use any ability, any special ability like Tools, Dance, Blitz, Lore, or Rage. And he can also mimic the actions of anyone of what someone does beforehand. So if they cast Ultima or something like that, just mimic. Go will cast it too. And he will learn. He can't learn magic by equipping espers, but if you give him the magic ability, he will be able to use every spell that the current party has. And also upcoming is the reason why I suggest using Warp to get out of here. Because if you don't, you got to go through this room again. If you die, you have to go get Go-Go again. And thud. There's a room like this in a dungeon in Majora's Mask, too. But it's not an instant game over. You're gonna die. Squish! Yeah, that treasure chest is occupying the hole. So, here we go again.
Yep. Well, we'll get it right this time.
We're gonna do it right this time. On the plus side, no encounters to worry about. Yeah, the tricky thing is making sure which space is open, just because the 2 layers there. And if you have sprint shoes, you can easily make it to the part on the left in one go. So there's one treasure chest there, and there's a safe spot right there, and in front of the next chest. The Zephyr Cape is a relic that makes it easier to dodge attacks. So if you have someone with low evasion, it's good to get that to them. So probably Cayenne or one other who's normally a tank. Down one, down one, down one! One more! Ooh, ouch.
Ooh. Well, it was close that time.
Okay, we're gonna do it right this time!
Alright.
When I say we're gonna do it right this time, I make no claim on actually doing it right this time.
Well, we will eventually get it.
Yep. That's actually worked out for me in my videos, because when I say we're going to do it right this time, I usually do it right. Yeah, the crowning example of that was in Illusion of Gaia, when fighting the bonus boss. And that guy decimated me in the first part, and then on the rematch, after I recovered from a game over, I only took 2 hits against him. Okay, and the hero ring is something you've gotten before. It increases both physical and magical damage. I think you need to be up 1. Oh, nope. I was wrong. You were up 1.
I made it this time.
You were up 1 last time, so... My fault. Yeah, again, the perspective can be tricky, that's why.
Yeah, that's the tricky part about the room. Just getting in the hole.
Now, that particular one is the only hole you have to get into. The others are right in front of treasure chests, except for the very left one. Yeah, the Thunder Shield is okay to have. And I actually recommend you do get it, of course. But Go-Go is more important. I was dropping the weaves, Mr. Gandalf, sir! I was just mimicking everything you were doing.
I just sped through the text because we already read it once.
Yep. Yeah, Mimic is one of the most useful abilities in the game, and unfortunately, Go-Go's stats really don't match up to everything. You have to hit the switch again to get it back over there.
Well, no, I oftentimes don't find Mimic very useful.
You basically have to unleash the strongest combination of attacks you can use, and then mimic that. So, one example is there's a relic that lets you cast magic twice in one battle, in one go. So if you do that and then mimic it, Gogo will cast both the same spells without using any MP.
Okay.
Okay, re-equip everybody. And there you go. Okay, back out of here.
Yep.
I gotta get it sooner or later. We've got 6 minutes left. Going for the save states.
Yeah, so I don't have to run through that whole thing again.
Yeah, yep, you can make that chest. You can probably make it all the rest of the way out, but if you're feeling cautious, you can stop by that second chest.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Why didn't I think of doing that a long time ago?
Well, this room is intimidating.
Yeah, but still, I didn't think of that the first time.
Okay. And get out of here. You can either cross the bridges or get knocked out and head back in.
Well, at this point, it's probably faster just to get knocked off.
Mm-hmm. It's most likely going to anyway. And of course, if you're going for that chest, now's a good time to get it. Wind slash. Well, I was wrong. I was going to say the only way to use that ability is if you use Cayenne's Tempest weapon, but I was wrong because one of Mog's dances will cast Wind Slash. He's going to disappear himself. And make Mog reappear. I see Sabin was taken in by the allure of a woman shaking her waist. Because there's fan theory that Sabin is gay, but I highly doubt he is.
We'll never know.
Yeah. Nothing official has been said either way. Not going for the fake mustache. It's not overly necessary. One more battle. These guys again.
Yep. I don't know if this is the last one we encounter in this video, but oh well.
Maybe not. Depends on how much goes on outside. It's got 2.5 minutes left. Mog's not going to survive this. But then again, yeah. He's got an ice shield equipped, but ice and water are considered different elements. Yep, that man-eater comes in handy for Celeste. And battle over. And of course, one thing to take note of, once you have the airship, you have several free healing opportunities in various towns. So if you take the time to fly to them, you don't have to use tents or spend money at an inn. Of course.
Well, yeah, actually, the tents will probably come in handy when we're at the final dungeon.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was saving for. Whereas if you're outside of a dungeon, you can go pretty much anywhere that's free for healing. Okay, as where to go to next, the sky's the limit. Except for Death Gaze. Okay, Thamasa, 1 gil healing in the inn, and some decent weapon upgrades as well. I think the best weapons and armor you can buy right now in general are in Jador. There are exceptions, of course. But you have more than enough money to upgrade almost everybody. Yeah, the circlet is something that a lot of people can equip. And the circlet is going to be the best generic helmet for several people. Yeah, the stuff in Thamasa is mostly equipped by magic-based characters. And people who equip lighter armor. I forgot weapons.
Oh, well, I should have gotten new weapons.
Yep, both in there and in Jador. You haven't gone to Jador yet, so that's okay. And you didn't need to use that tent. You could have gone to the inn.
Yeah, well.
And that's the end of this video.
Until next time, this is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne. Later, folks.
Bye, guys.